Good evening. Hope you all are having a good week so far. I'm thankful for this opportunity to get to stand in front of you. The word of the night is patience. Patience has been on my mind a lot lately. There's been so many things kind of going on in our lives. We've got some big things happening tomorrow with our family that we've been anticipating for way too long, it feels like. And then tonight, Dad and I started our journey into 7-year-old basketball. We're coaching a team. And if you've ever thought about the idea of patience, 7-year-old basketball is where it is at. There's constantly a don't do this, stop, listen, don't dribble there, hold your ball, pass your ball, shoot the ball. It's a constant chaos is really what it is. And patience is the word that would describe what someone needs to have when dealing with those things. And so I looked up the definition of patience, and it is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Now, the key word in that is the capacity, which we all have the capacity. It just sometimes we don't quite have the ability to fulfill that capacity, to accept or to tolerate those things at times. And there's a verse that I go to, and I've been looking at a lot when it comes to patience, especially with some of the other things that I've been dealing with. And that is in Romans chapter 12, in verse 12. And in Romans chapter 12, it begins in verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. So Paul to the Romans is setting this up. You have to present yourself to God, and it's your reasonable service to do this. And he goes through a list of things that you must do or we must do in order to present ourselves to God as that living sacrifice. And in verse 12 it says, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. And as we think about this for these very brief few moments, and as we look at this idea of patience, especially in tribulation, and again, we just got done reading the announcements of people that are going through different things and who continue to struggle. And we all have something or some things that we struggle and try to work through day in and day out. And in verse 12, it talks about being patient in tribulation. But being patient in tribulation is sandwiched between the two things that help us with that patience. One is rejoicing in hope, knowing that whatever it is that we're going through is not eternal. It's going to end at some point, and there is something greater that we believe in that is eternal, that will help us go through those things. When it comes to 7-year-old basketball practice, the hope that I rejoice in is it's only an hour long. I get to go home after that, and I don't have to stay there all night long. That's rejoicing in hope. When I think about the other things that we go through, we know that we can overcome those things because they're only temporary. And so we can rejoice in that. And then it's followed up by this idea of continuing instant in prayer. We not only have hope of things that are better, but we can continually be in front of a God who, as we just sang, we can be still and know that He is God and that He can deliver us through those things that we're going through. And so tonight, and just as we talk about this, I hope that we can all find patience. That the things that we are going through, we have the ability and we use our capacity that we can accept and to tolerate and we can overcome those things. Because in the end, there is a hope that is greater than anything that we are going through, and that is heaven. And if there be anything that you need, come forward as we stand and as we